A perfect afternoon for baseball at Miller Park. Hank Aaron, the slugger, in his statue. And the bobblehead is the giveaway today as we get set for Game 3 of this weekend-long series between the New York Mets and your Milwaukee Brewers. Expecting a big crowd here today. Everyone happy to get the Hammer bobblehead. He's a fixture in the All-Star game, and we've got plenty of All-Star talk along with baseball here this afternoon as well. Hi, everybody. I'm Craig Kishon in for Brian Anderson this afternoon alongside Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us. The series locked up at a game apiece, but, of course, the big news yesterday and the big talk again this morning is Jean Segura and Carlos Gomez headed to their first All-Star games.
Yeah, put a big smile on my face when I watched that selection show yesterday when they announced Gomez and Segura. You know, going into spring training, couple of wild cards in that starting lineup. Jean Segura didn't play much last year, looked good defensively, not so good offensively, but came into spring training after winning a batting title. Gomez got a 3-year contract extension. I don't think anybody thought that these two guys would be able to put together the seasons that they have been able to do. And you look at the offensive categories in the National League. You got Segura, you got Gomez up there. David Wright with the Mets, his 7th All-Star game. Gomez and Segura, one of 30 or two of the 30 guys that are making their first All-Star appearances between the two leagues.
All right, it's a young man's game all of a sudden, but we're going to talk about Hank Aaron, who helped turn things around back in his day. A fixture in the All-Star game, telling an Augie, tell you why, with some eye-popping numbers when we come back.
Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Toyota, let's go places. And by AT&T U-verse, check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. Rethink possible. The Brewers and Mets getting set for the series finale here at Miller Park on Hank Aaron Bobblehead Day. Alongside Jerry Augustine, I'm Telly Hughes. Augie, is always a good thing when you can mention Hank Aaron, and this man right here was on the mound when Hank Aaron hit his last major league home run, Augie.
It was what an honor, but, you know, I like to tell a story how I got first called up to the big leagues. I was called to big leagues, and I got called, and I walked into the clubhouse, and as I gazed across, there was Hank Aaron sitting at his locker. Right there, I dropped my equipment bag, and I sat there and I stared, and it seemed like I was standing there for about 20 minutes. Finally, Bob Sullivan, our equipment manager, came up to me, tapped me on the shoulder. He said, "Son, you can go to your locker now." So just an honor to be with Hank Aaron, though, but to have the real honor of pitching the last game where he hit his last home run, very special.
Yeah, for all the young fans out there who don't know who Hank Aaron is, just take a look at some of these numbers. 1957 MVP. He went to the All-Star game 25 times, and he was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1982. And he never made more than $240,000 in one season. Unbelievable stuff here. But Hank Aaron, bobblehead day here at Miller Park. Brewers and Mets getting set. Craig and Rock are on the other side of the break with the first pitch.
Degrees along with Sophia Minard on the sidelines. Bill Schroeder on Craig Deshawn here at beautiful Miller Park in Milwaukee. It's the Mets and the Brewers in a series locked up at a game apiece. Gene Segura just named to the All-Star team along with his teammate Carlos Gomez will get the start again here today, much to the delight of another big crowd here at Miller Park, their first All-Star appearances. Terry Collins will also be at the All-Star game in his own home ballpark. He will serve as one of the bench coaches in his third year as the Mets manager. And their team won on Friday night here at Miller Park. Here's the Piggly Wiggly batting order for Terry Collins and the Mets. It's E.Y. Jr. at the top of the order, Daniel Murphy, and then David Wright. Marlon Byrd, who hit a home run in yesterday's game, will back cleanup for the Mets here in Game 3.
Well, Tom Gorzelani making his second start of the year. Made a start in against the Phillies on June 8th. Lasted 4 innings. Last pitched on Thursday against the Nationals. He took a loss, but he pitched extremely well, making his 34th overall appearance. Good numbers for him, a 243 earned run average. The Menards Brewers defense for today. Juan Francisco moves over from first to third base, making his third start at third base this year. And Sean Halton getting his start at first base, his third start as well over at first base.
And the umpiring crew, Bob Davidson, is going to be behind the plate calling balls and strikes. John Hirschbeck over at second base is the crew chief here this afternoon. Jim Reynolds over at first and James Hoy at third base. And you can see the sunshine splashing down here at Miller Park. And Tom Gorzolani is ready to go to work here against the Mets in Game 1. Brewers wearing the alternate home gold uniforms here today. Milwaukee trying to capitalize on a win in last night's game. It was a well-played back-and-forth game between these two teams, and the Brewers ended up winning 7-6. Here's the first pitch here in Game 3, and a strike in for Tom Gorzolani. Eric Young Jr., of course, his father, Eric Young, played here with the Brewer organization. He came over in a trade with the Rockies last month.
Well, very similar to his dad, Eric Young Jr.
Boy, they look alike, don't they?
EY Jr., a switch hitter. His dad, not a switch hitter, but both of them very athletic in the outfield and can run.
Little chopper Segura. And there is out number 1. As Hulton over at first base hauls it in.
Injuries to the starting rotation have forced Ron Renicky into using some guys in the bullpen as starters. Donovan Hand, now Gorzolani making start number 2. You figure about 5 innings. I think the Brewers would be happy with 5 innings out of Gorzolani today.
Willie Peralta was scheduled to start today, but has been bumped to Tuesday as he battles through a tweak with a hamstring. He's actually in very good shape and had a good bullpen session the other day as Daniel Murphy steps in, the second batter for the Mets, but it's precautionary.
Yeah, Brewers very fortunate that they caught it in time and it wasn't too bad, because the last thing they need is another starter on the disabled list.
But once again, the starting staff not in place, and just part of the inconsistencies this year. You start with pitching, but we've also seen it as far as the offense goes because of injuries for the most part. It's good to have some versatile players, and Gorzolani's certainly one of those. A longtime career starter. And in fact, it wasn't until he came over to the Nationals after the 2011 season where they finally said, you know what, time to put you in the bullpen and kind of restore the left-hander's career, and it's actually worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah, this is his 9th career start against the Mets. He's got a 4-5 overall record and a 4.53 earned run average for Gorzolani against the New York Mets. 9th start, 22nd appearance overall.
Ball and 2 strikes. Murphy to short. And there's 2 outs here in the first inning.
Always good to see the ground ball out from Gorzolani. I would imagine Gene Segura woke up in a pretty good mood this morning. You know, Gorzolani, or I should say Segura and Gomez, they found out they made the All-Star team before the game yesterday. Good for them. They deserve it.
And it's one of those seasons that were unexpected as far as getting to the All-Star game. Not for this guy, though, David Wright. He's going to be making his 7th All-Star appearance in his 5th start and having another stellar season at .304. Putting in good offensive numbers and takes that first pitch into right field for a base hit. So there's the first base runner for the Mets, and now Wright an 8-game hitting streak going.
And Mr. Consistency at third base, David Wright, making his 7th All-Star team, and he's the captain for the National League in the home run hitting contest. So David Wright, very versatile. He's been able to stay healthy and drives that ball into right field. Very good opposite field hitter.
And he's going to be a busy man at Citi Field at the end of next weekend for the All-Star festivities. Robinson Cano from the Yankees is going to be the American League captain for that home run derby. Here's Marlon Byrd now. He'd like to enter that derby if possible. In a home run here at Miller Park last night against Francisco Rodriguez, and was robbed of a home run on Friday night by Carlos Gomez.
Yeah, so he's swinging the bat well. 13 home runs and kind of rejuvenating his career in New York.
Fouls went off. David Wright leading over at first base, but an 0-2 count now coming up to Marlon Byrd. Tied for the team lead with Wright with 43 RBIs. They've got their 3-4 punch in the lineup. That's something obviously the Brewers don't have going right now, with Braun still on the DL and Ramirez missing today's action. Wright always a base stealing threat. He has got 14 on the season. None coming here as Byrd strikes out to end the first. Of the first inning, third-year Brewer skipper, and looking for a series win against the Mets. Our Piggly Wiggly batting order for Milwaukee. Nori Aoki, the right fielder, will lead things off as per usual. Then it's the All-Star Segura and the All-Star Gomez. Luke Roy bats fourth. Francisco over at third base today. Then it's Weeks, Holton at first, Schaefer out left, and Gorzolani the pitcher. That's the Piggly Wiggly batting order.
And Jeremy Hefner in his second season with the Mets, 6'4", 216 pounds. He's 27 years old, and he has been very good. His last 6 starts, a 170 earned run average, and not too many better since June 4th in all of baseball. The Menards Mets defense, 2 guys making the first start in the series. Andrew Brown in center, Josh Satin at first base, and Anthony Recker, the catcher, spells John Buck today.
All right, we are ready to go as Jeremy Hefner is set to deliver against Aoki. And the first pitch is outside a ball to the Brewers right fielder. Pretty good series so far for Aoki, who's batting just under 300 on the season. 5 for 9, though, in the series against the Mets in the first 2 games so far. And look out over in the Mets dugout.
Now Jeremy Hefner, we look at his delivery, you know, fairly standard routine, not a very long stride. Big guy, gets on top and relies on sink on his fastball, and a very relaxed delivery to home plate.
Ball and 2 strikes to Aoki, and again this one lands in and out of the dugout. And there go the Mets. They said, we've had enough. Don't blame you.
They're going in the clubhouse. That's the end of that.
Look at Aoki apologizing.
There's one holdout up there in the railing. Not sure who it is, but he's ducking down.
He's going to protect the team. They've all gone to the corner, the runway into the clubhouse. And this time it misses for a ball to even the count at 2-2.
That'll be Ike Davis. This got called up for the minor leagues on Friday, so he's not going to the clubhouse. He's enjoying his big league life again.
You can't afford to leave when you just got here, right?
That's funny stuff.
Here's the 2-2. And this time, a little payback from the Mets side off of Aoki's shin. So Nori will walk that one off. We talk about all the All-Stars and what it means to produce for your team, and certainly Nori Aoki has meant as much as anybody to this Brewer lineup, and this time strikes out to start out the game. A rare strikeout for Aoki.
The toughest guy in the National League to punch out, but Hefner has been outstanding. Has a changeup that Nori was over the top of. He's got all 4 pitches. A sinker that he uses a lot. He's able to keep the baseball in the ballpark, and curveball, slider, and changeup. He's been a good story for the Mets.
Well, you mentioned since June 4th, very few have been better than him. Second best ERA at 1.70 as he's set to face the All-Star Jean Segura.
And that stretch, he's allowed 2 or fewer earned runs.
In fact, his last 7 starts, he's 3-1 with a 2.09. And this after almost a horrific start to the season. He won only 1 of his first 11 starts. Team lost his first 5 decisions, but he's turned things around. Last 3 outings alone for Hefner, getting deeper in the ball games. Last start against Arizona, just 1 earned run allowed. Segura fouls another one off. And it's all about the control. He's not putting extra runners on the bases, is he?
Yeah, and those 6 starts that we're talking about, only 7 walks combined, 1 in each start. And 2 in his last outing, but pounding the strike zone, keeping it down, keeping it in the ballpark. He's given up 13 home runs, but 7 of those came in his first 4 appearances.
Tries to pound Segura inside. The count goes full. It's a nice view of Segura at the plate in the open roof here at Miller Park. Another nice crowd on Hank Aaron bobblehead day, and this time Segura gets caught looking, so 2 quick strikeouts for Hefner to start the game.
He had 71 strikeouts in 94 innings. I mean, that's not a big strikeout total, but you know, with the command that he has with all 4 of his pitches, you're not sure what you're going to get. It's the first time the Brewers have ever seen him. The only player in the Brewers lineup that has ever faced him is Ricky Weeks.
And we'll see Ricky a bit later, but here's the second Brewer All-Star, Carlos Gomez. Top foul near the Brewer dugout is going to make the stands. Gomez preparing for his first All-Star appearance. And as you mentioned off the top, a lot of the pressure was off of him before the season even began, when he was granted a 3-year contract extension and finally the keys to center field.
Well, when you think about it, going into spring training, Segura and Gomez, wild cards. The Brewers not exactly sure what they were going to get. And who would have thought? Both of them All-Stars, and much deserved. They have been very consistent all season long.
Gomez, the first Brewer center fielder since Davey May, and only the second center fielder chosen to the All-Star game. A lot of people thought Robin Yount, when he made the transition from short to center, made it as a center fielder, but he did not.
He was the MVP in center field one year, but didn't make the All-Star team.
Correct.
Yeah. Kind of a surprise.
Lucroy waits on deck. The 1-2. And Gomez able to check his swing. 2-2 now.
Somewhat unusual for a team that 16 games under 500 to have 2 position players make the All-Star game. And had Ryan Braun been able to stay healthy, he probably would have made it as well.
Let's check in with Sophia Minert for more on the All-Star selections.
Well, I caught up with Carlos Gomez earlier today, just how much it meant to him to be able to play in the All-Star game. He said it's been, just a struggle those first few seasons, and he said it was disappointing to him. His family wasn't able to come for his major league debut in New York, so he said it's just really special to be able to play there where he made his debut, and he said this time his family will be there, so he's thrilled. And he said he's just thrilled to take Jean Segura along with him, giving him a lot of credit as well for the season that he's had.
And this time Gomez goes down, so a good start to the ball game for Jeremy Hefner. He strikes out the side.
Nice crowd here at Miller Park on this Hank Aaron bobblehead day. And today's tavern of the game, White Pig Tavern in Mondovi. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite Beer Pen tickets to the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. The Miller Lite Beer Pen tickets to a Brewers home game.
And could be the Pig Pen today with the White Pig Tavern.
Right. Mondovi is on 94 toward the Twin Cities.
Now, do you pick these out as part of your routes when you travel Wisconsin?
And you maybe stop over at the White Pig?
Sure. You do that once in a while?
I kind of don't like drinking and driving.
Well, that's a good point. Base hit to lead off for Josh Satin. Well, you can eyeball him and just make a list.
Yeah. Sounds like my kind of place.
11-game hitting streak going for Satin. And that's the longest Met streak this season from the plate.
And first start for Satin in this series. He has been on a roll. Swinging the bat well.
Here's Andrew Brown. So a runner aboard, nobody out here in the second inning against Tom Gorzolani. 257 on the season for Brown in 18 games. Big hack at that first pitch. He's been up and down twice from AAA in the Mets organization. His second stint, he was called back up in the middle of June. Because of injuries, the Mets have had to dip into their farm system, much like the Brewers have had. And that's part of the reason neither team enjoying the success they were hoping when entering the 2013 campaign.
Yeah, plenty of spots on the disabled list for both of these ball clubs. DL is filled for both of them.
Brown awaits the 1-1. Another swing and a miss. Gorzolani ahead of ball and 2 strikes.
Gorzolani just pounding that strike zone. 16 pitches, 13 for strikes. I guess if you're making a spot start, your pitch count's going to be limited. That's what you need to do. No messing around.
Foul tip caught by Lucroy for the out. Let's go now to Sophia Minner.
Craig, fans can come out to Miller Park as your Milwaukee Brewers host the Reds tomorrow through Wednesday. For tickets, they can call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com. And hard to believe, guys, that we are at the final homestand here before the All-Star break, and fans can come see Homer Bailey tomorrow.
Yeah, just 8 games remaining, including today before the All-Star break. After this home series, the Brewers are off to Arizona for just the 4-game road trip, and then they get the All-Star break off and then open up a homestand. So there's the consolation after the long road trip for one series.
Yeah, Brewers need a day off. It's been a while for them, and a long stretch of games without a day off. And yeah, 7 more games after today, and you know that bullpen's going to be able to use the time off.
There's Anthony Recker. Satin over at first draws some attention from Gorzolani. Brewers in the midst of 20 consecutive games. And they won't get their first break until the All-Star break. The one consolation for all the Brewer players that actually make their offseason home in the Phoenix area, they'll be right there. Big swing and a miss by Recker. We talked about both these teams playing with and fighting through some injuries. Ramirez not playing in today's game, was sliding in the 5th inning to make a diving stop yesterday, and precautionary, staying out of today's lineup. He had a scheduled day off anyway today. The Brewers keeping a close eye on him, so Juan Francisco over at third base today for Milwaukee. He's primarily been playing over at first, but this is his 3rd start at really his natural position. So while he gets used to first base, he's got to swing over once in a while and cover third.
Yeah, well, you get a couple of thumpers in the lineup. You got Halton at first. You swing Francisco to third base. And Ramirez, this was a scheduled day off for Aramis, but he may very well get tomorrow off. Brewers aren't sure. He had to be taken out of the ball game yesterday. Aramis tweaked the knee a little bit.
We're hoping to possibly get him some extra days off this week anyway, and put that together with the All-Star break, and really give him some good time to just rest that knee up. Halton chasing foul ball, and it makes it into the stands. Let's go back to Sophia now with an update on Aramis Ramirez.
Well, Ron saying that Aramis was supposed to have today off, but there has been some discussion of possibly sitting him for the entire series in Arizona to just extend that break and really give him a full week off. And he said certainly missing Ryan Braun and Corey Hart is a factor, but they think, even Aramis Ramirez not at 100% is still better than having him out completely.
Yeah, it changes the complexion of that lineup when you have Aramis in there in that number 4 spot. Yeah, just the threat of him in that lineup makes it tougher on that opposing pitcher.
Recker goes down, 2 strikeouts, both outs here in the inning for Gorzolani.
Gorzolani's got a good slider today. Keeping it down and not making a mistake with it. Recker not able to hold up. A lot of strikes from Tom Gorzolani.
While the news on Ramirez stays rather questionable, take a look at Gorzolani's pitch count. 19 of those 23 for strikes. News on Ryan Braun is getting more encouraging as the days progress here. He's able to take some batting practice yesterday with a padded handle on his bat, and everything went pretty smoothly. So there's an outside chance that he may make a push to try to play in that Red Series, but more than likely play in that series in Arizona later in the week.
It's going to be a while before Braun, once he gets back, to be able to play every single game. You got to get those legs back in shape and get himself back in baseball shape. It's going to end up being about a month. Well, you got to have him back. Just when you have Braun and Ramirez out of the lineup, that makes for rough sledding for the Brewers offense.
Omar Quintanilla at the plate. A ball and a strike. And again, Satin drawing attention from Gorzolani. Another throw over to first. And this time he takes off, and it's fouled away. So Satin back to first base.
The Mets are 7th in the National League in stolen bases. Sometimes having a tough time hitting homers in that ballpark of theirs, Citi Field. Rough to hit them. And Satin has not attempted a stolen base this year.
Takes off again. Throw from Lucroy just a little bit late, so first stolen base for Satin.
That's 1 for 1. And not much chance for Lucroy. Big lead going on the first move from Gorzolani, and he steals it easily. Perfect throw right on the bag. Might have been close.
First stolen base of Satin's career right here at Miller Park. Gorzolani hopes to keep him there. 2 outs in the 2-2 pitch on the way. And another strikeout for Gorzolani. He strikes out the side. A lot of K's in the scorebook here so far early in the ball game of Game 3 of this series between the Brewers and Mets.
Scoreless game going here at Miller Park, and this year Fox Sports Supports is proud to partner with Stomp Out Bullying, the leading national anti-bullying organization for kids and teens in the U.S. Stomp Out Bullying focuses on preventing bullying and all forms of digital abuse. It educates against racism and hatred, deters violence in schools and online, and helps at-risk students. To learn how you can help, please visit stompoutbullying.org. Craig?
Okay, Sophia, thanks very much. We head to the Brewer half of the second inning. And a lot of strikeouts between Hefner and Gorzolani so far. 7 strikeouts, 11 batters between the two pitchers. As Lucroy is set to lead off here, the Brewers cleanup hitter this afternoon. Hit his 9th home run in yesterday's game and 45 RBIs on the season for Lucroy. That leads the team. Fly ball into right. And Bird making the catch in fair territory for the first out. So 1 down now for Juan Francisco.
Hey, Jeremy Hefner, an interesting story. He got drafted a couple of times but did not sign. I mean, back in 04 and 05, the Mets drafted him in the 46th round. Didn't sign. The next year, they drafted him again in the 48th round. And then back in 07, his stock went up, and the Padres picked him up in the 5th round. He ended up signing. So something happened between 2005 and 2007, and Jeremy Hefner all of a sudden became a prospect.
Maybe they would call that greatness.
Yeah, and here he is with the Mets.
His major league debut a year ago in April, just 4-7 last year as a rookie, but fought his way through it. And again, a rough start to this season, but you'd have to say lately, since the beginning of June, one of the best pitchers in baseball right now.
Yep, he bounced between the rotation and the bullpen last year.
And Francisco is retired, so 2 down quickly here in the Brewers' 2nd.
And with all the injuries to the starting rotation for the Mets, specifically John Neese right now, he's been able to make some starts, and boy, has he taken advantage of that. You look at some of the pitchers that the Mets have that, you know, kind of surprises. We saw Wheeler on Friday. Well, he's got a good arm. He's still a little bit raw, but you know, once he learns how to pitch, you got this young man who's putting together some good starts. Matt Harvey.
Another big name on the DL, of course, is Johan Santana for the Mets as well. Tough time keeping the big lefty healthy. Ooh, this one hits Ricky Weeks. So a 2-out base runner for Milwaukee as Weeks reaches.
Well, Ricky Weeks, the only batter for the Brewers that has ever faced Jeremy Hefner, and Ricky took him deep last year. Hits him right in the buttocks. That's not going to hurt too much, at least for Ricky.
How come initially when you see that you just want to go, ooh?
It's not going to hurt too much.
Then you see where it hits on the replay and they're going, that's the spot right there.
If you're going to get hit, right? That's a good spot to get hit.
So Milwaukee's first base runner against Hefner is Weeks. That brings up Sean Halton. Halton getting his 3rd start over at first base, making his 10th appearance in a Brewer uniform. .273 in his first action in the big leagues.
Had a pretty good road trip as far as swinging the bat. Didn't have a lot to show for it. He hit the ball hard a number of times. He got caught in the outfield, but Ron Renicky giving him an opportunity today against the right-hander.
And a half swing by Halton.
That's the movement on that fastball for Hefner. He's got good movement. That one had some tail, not so much sink. Everything moves for this guy. Nothing really straight comes out of his hand.
Halton made his major league debut on June 27th. Got a base hit in his first plate appearance. This one deep in the hole, and he's going to beat it out for an infield hit. So 2 aboard, and the Brewers trying to get something going here with 2 down.
2 outs, nobody on. A hit batter and an infield hit, and you bring up Logan Shaver. Had a heck of a game last night. Quintanilla just not enough arm to get Halton at first base. A little bit off the mark. He got a slider away, pulled it, but didn't hit it very hard, and ends up as an infield hit.
So Logan Schaefer steps up, 3 for 4 in last night's game, scored 2 runs, also had an RBI.
Yeah, that was a big RBI for the Brewers in that 8th inning.
It's a game last night with Giovanni Gallardo on the hill that the Brewers thought they were pulling away from against Sean Markham. their former teammate of the last 2 years. But the Mets kept battling, and the Brewers hung on to win it.
And Brewers had a 5-0 lead heading into the 5th inning. And they battled back.
There's a strike into Schaefer, 1-1. Schaefer with 4 hits in this first 2 games of the series so far.
Actually, that RBI for Schaefer came in last night's 7th inning, not 8th. But it was a difference in the game. Ended up being a 7-6 Brewers win.
Well, it's about opportunities for Schaefer, and of course he's really seen the brunt of the playing time in the absence of Brian Braun. He started 22 of the last 24 games. This time he strikes out. Another strikeout for Hefner. And the Brewers' threat in the second comes to an end.
Back here at Miller Park, Carlos Gomez and Jean Segura are headed to the All-Star game, and who will snag the final spot? Today on our AT&T Twitter poll, we are asking Brewers fans to weigh in on who will win the National League final vote. You see the options there: Desmond, Freeman, Gonzalez, Pence, or the rookie Yasiel Puig of the Dodgers. And fans, don't forget that in 9 days, baseball's greatest stars gather for the biggest event of the summer. The Midsummer Classic returns to New York with home field advantage for the World Series on the line. It's the 2013 Major League Baseball All-Star Game live from New York, July 16th, only on Fox. So, Craig and Rock, what do you think? Who's getting that final spot?
Well, you're looking at the 2 Brewer All-Stars who are going, in Gomez and Segura for the first time. And I guess right now the nod may go to Puig because he garnered more than 850,000 write-in votes, and he's only played a month in the bigs.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you know, Bryce Harper, you know, was a guy that was picked on the team, and you know he didn't come up last year until the latter part of the first half. And you know, is it going to happen again? He and Desmond, outstanding work with that Washington Nationals over at shortstop. We saw him earlier in the week. That's always a fun thing, that that final internet balloting for the final spot in each All-Star team, American and National. The Brewers have had a couple of guys win that. Corey Hart and Jeff Jenkins.
Our charter high-speed pitch today so far for Gorzolani and Hefner. Hefner at 92, Gorzolani at 93, and so far they have produced strikeout after strikeout after strikeout.
Last 5 outs for Gorzolani, all punch outs. You're not going to stay in the game long when you're punching everybody out. Of course, he's throwing nothing but strikes.
Here's Eric Young now at the top of the order for the Mets. Grounded out to short back in the first inning. Talk about Puig and the write-in votes. There's only been 2 All-Stars that have been granted positions through a write-in vote. It was Rico Carty back in 1970 and Steve Garvey in 1974.
Yeah, I remember the Steve Garvey one.
Carty was the first there in 1970. Very difficult to do, and you would think in this day and age even more difficult. Halton with the second out. So Young is retired. That'll bring up Daniel Murphy.
It's been interesting to watch. I mean, you know how baseball is these days. I mean, a lot of guys that did not make opening day rosters, and for whatever reason, whether guys weren't just getting the job done or you had injuries, guys coming up like Puig, you know, that they just burst onto the scene and just start doing well right off the bat. You're going to see more and more of that, I think, as this game continues to get younger. And we talked about it on our open and earlier in the game, saying that 30 guys this year between the 2 teams, the American and National, 30 guys making their first All-Star team. That's a lot.
You're talking about half the rosters. But at some point everything turns over, and maybe we're seeing this right now with Major League Baseball and the Stars.
A changing of the guard, perhaps, right? Some good young talent in baseball these days. And they're getting younger and younger. 20, 21 years old. Gene Segura, 23. So happy for Carlos Gomez. He has worked very hard to get to where he is right now.
And another strikeout for Gorzolani as Murphy goes down. We're through 2.5. Gorzolani looking good.
No score here at Miller Park, and for just $20, see the Brew Crew in the zoo. They won Terrace Reserve tickets to select Brewers games and won 2013 adult admission ticket to the Milwaukee County Zoo, plus a free beverage tumbler. For tickets, visit brewers.com/zoo.
And back here at Miller Park, Tom Gorzolani is set to lead off the Brewer half of the third inning. He's making his second start on the mound this season for Milwaukee, so it's rare that he gets a chance to hit, but in his last start he did get a base hit, so maybe he can get something going against Jeremy Hefner. Both pitchers have started out this game very well. 4 strikeouts so far for Hefner. and 6 for Gorzolany. It's time to short. Quintanilla takes care of Gorzolany. Time now for our Car Soup email the booth question. And it comes from Marty in West Dallas. Rock, going back to Little League, how many All-Star teams have you been on?
I don't know the exact number, but I made All-Star teams all the way through up to the point where they started throwing pretty good curveballs and sliders. Then in the minor leagues, I think I made a couple of All-Star teams in the minors, but if I recall correctly, they didn't have an actual game. You were named to an All-Star team.
You had a lot of tryouts, though, for like around here district teams. Those are considered some All-Star teams, traveling teams.
Back in New Jersey when I was playing high school, I mean all county and all area and, second team All-State, stuff like that. But I was a pretty good player until I got to the big leagues.
You think so? Aoki to first. And a nice play as Hefner covers. And there are 2 down quickly here in the Brewer half of the 3rd inning.
Always had good minor league seasons. And big leagues humble a lot of players.
Well, the good thing is when that question was asked, you had to think for a minute about how many All-Star teams, because first of all, we're dipping back in history a little bit.
Yeah.
But the other thing is it means you got to be successful growing up to get to this level.
Right. Yeah. The one thing not many people ever know this, but my father, throughout my entire career, whether it's Little League through the big leagues, he put together a scrapbook for me, clippings out of the newspaper and different things that. I mean, there's 3 full scrapbooks. I mean, they're probably 6 inches each.
Nice.
And from time to time, I know my kids used to like going through that. I go through it once in a while, and it's amazing the stuff that he kept for me, because he kind of knew that as I went through, as I continued to do well, that stuff would mean something to me at some point, and it does. When you're going through that stuff, you really don't realize how much it means to you until you've done and you look back on your career. And I really appreciate him doing that. And last time he was here last homestand. We went through it together.
And we also had him on the instructional. We were just talking about dads' participations with their kids in youth baseball, and he shared some great stories and obviously how proud he is of watching you through all those steps, and you get up here and the tears that are shed on the field, off the field, by the players and the parents, and it was great to have him on, Rock.
Yeah, great man.
All right, we're through 3. No score here at Miller Park. Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic, don't just live, shine. Hank Aaron bobblehead giveaway here at Miller Park today. Great crowd on hand to watch the Mets and the Brewers, the final game in this 3-game series. It's a good-looking bobblehead given away, the old Milwaukee Braves hat and uniform. That's where Hank Aaron began his career, right here in Milwaukee at Old County Stadium, before moving on to the Atlanta Braves and then finishing back here in Milwaukee as a member of the Milwaukee Brewers. And his number 44 is retired high atop the ballpark here. And Wright leads off, and Francisco can't handle a tough play in the corner over at third base, so Wright's going to reach. So leadoff batter aboard here in the fourth inning against Tom Gorzolany.
The Brewers have been somewhat shaky defensively as of late, but they did not commit an error in yesterday's ball game in their 7-6 victory. Kind of took a funny hop on Francisco. We'll see how they elect to score it. Could be an error.
No official word just yet. And we were talking earlier about the transition. Francisco, a natural third baseman, and has played much more over at first base for the Brewers. As a ground ball to Segura, chance for two here. There's one. The relay is in time, and they retire Marlon Byrd and Wright all in one swing of the bat. So the Brewers defense making up.
Well, slick job by Segura to get it to Weeks quickly, and Ricky able to get it out of the glove and on its way to first base to turn the double play on Marlon Byrd. So they erased the base hit. It was scored at base hit for David Wright. He's 2 for 2.
So 2 down for Satin here in the fourth inning. Gorzolany, after tossing 6 strikeouts through 3 innings so far, will gladly take that double play.
Yeah, 40 pitches for Gorzolany, 32 of them strikes. He's on an incredible pace to just pounds his strike zone, pitch after pitch.
Well, that's one thing Rick Kranitz, the Brewer pitching coach, Ron Renicky, the Brewer manager, of course, always want out of their pitchers. But when the bullpen has been asked to come in and start, and Donovan Hand in particular, it's the throwing strikes for a great majority of the time that they're most impressed with.
Yeah, well, out of the bullpen, you can't be walking batters, and they've been taking that on to their starting opportunities.
This one hit hard by Satin into the gap, and it'll reach. Gomez will field it. Satin going for 2. Here's the throw, and it is late. Ricky Weeks arguing he had to make a big swing with his arm. And he says he got him, but he is ruled safe out there by the second base umpire, John Hirschbeck.
Yeah, John Hirschbeck didn't think he got him, but Ricky, you'd never see Ricky argue. Very rarely, if ever, do you see Ricky Weeks put up a stink at all. And John Hirschbeck being adamant the fact that he did not make a tag. Look at his throw by Carlos Gomez. I mean, he talked about all of his offense, but how about this? Wow. This is the angle that John Hirschbeck had. Maybe you can understand why he called him safe. I'm not sure Ricky's taking the throw up there. He didn't expect it to be so close. Well, what a throw by Gomez to make it even that close. I mean, how many shots have we had of that? And it looks like he's got him right there. There you go. There's the angle, but Hirschbeck didn't have that angle. You can see where he is, and he was clearly out. It took us about 5 replays to determine whether he was out. I mean, you can't really get on the umpire too badly, because the other angles we had could have gone either way.
That's what makes thinking about what you would like to implement for a replay rule as you go further along in this game that much more questionable. A lot of different angles. Runner out at second base with 2 outs. So Gorzolany has to get through it with Andrew Brown at the plate.
But you can understand, what John Hirschbeck saw is what we saw the first, 3 or 4 replays, and you really couldn't tell. And finally, that last one made it obvious that he was out at second base. So you know what? You can't really get on the umpire. He can't be in 3 places all at once. The angle that he was at, showed that it could have gone either way.
And there's nothing routine for either player, the one throwing the ball or catching it, having to apply the tag that makes anything routine. Got to deal with the bounce of the ball, the angle in which to cover the base, how the player's sliding. Ball and 2 strikes to Brown. Little chopper in the infield. Francisco bare hands to first and can't make the play. And a run's going to come home, and the Mets are going to take the lead here in the 4th inning. Good barehanded pickup by Francisco, but he couldn't complete the throw over to Halton at first base.
It'll be a hit and an error. It'll be a base hit, no RBI. The run scores on the E5. Halton did his best to get there. I think a little bit of a collision with Brown as he got down the line. Ball sailed on him. The glove hits Brown as he goes by, and good job picking it clean with the bare hand, but the throw off the mark, and the Mets take a 1-0 lead. So the break call for the Mets at second base ends up costing Milwaukee a run.
Here's Anthony Recker, the Mets catcher.
Just shoddy defensive play by the Brewers lately.
Francisco escaped an error earlier this inning as David Wright reached on what was ruled a base hit. Tough one hopper to start the inning out.
And that's the thing, you try and get as many bats in the lineup, as you can. And Francisco, a natural third baseman, but he has not played there that much.
Just 3 games over there as a Brewer, 21 over at first base. And it's certainly not to make excuses, but when you're playing a new position too, perhaps you're kind of dialed in defensively over there. Now you're asked to play third base, but part of the versatility is what's making guys make this Brewer roster right now. The 1-1 in for a strike. Gorzelani had the benefit of a double play earlier in this inning, but a controversial call at second base, and then an error leads to a Mets run. And another strikeout. Gorzelani goes upstairs and gets Recker, but the Mets grab the lead here for the first time today. Midway through the 4th, it's 1-0 New York. Raffle every game day. Tickets are sold for $2 as of today. The Brewers Community Foundation 50/50 raffle sellers have sold $1 million on behalf of children and families in this community. Thank you, fans, for supporting nonprofits that provide support in the areas of health, education, recreation, and basic needs. Way to go. $1 million already on the season. That is outstanding. Appreciate everyone's help and support along the way. Carlos Gomez, the Brewers All-Star center fielder, will lead off the Brewer half of the fourth. And they'll need to come from behind in this one. Only down by a run. The Mets picked that one up in the top half of the frame. Gomez struck out back in the first inning. Jeremy Hefner was dialed in early in this game. Gomez had to handle about every interview request before today's game.
And
that you can imagine, of course.
And loving every minute of it.
How often do you get to do that, right? And Gene Segura, first-time All-Stars.
And it's nice that they're getting recognition. Coaches and players in baseball voting or selecting Gomez and Segura as alternates, as extras. Quite the honor.
Gomez a manager selection. Segura a player selection. But Gomez leads the majors in triples with 9. And if just one of 6 players with 10 home runs and 15 stolen bases on the season. Lines this one just foul. Gene Segura's teammate, one of the other 6. Gomez having a good series against his old team. Of course, he started with the Mets organization and then to the Twins and then to the Brewers. We talk about some star power in trades that he was involved with. Of course, Santana, J.J. Hardy, who will start for the American League for the Baltimore Orioles. Of course, was involved in that trade between the Twins and the Brewers. And Jonathan Lucroy is going to step up to the plate now. Had a big home run yesterday, so our Powerball home run count for Jonathan Lucroy, number 9 on the season. For Lucroy, got it off his former battery mate Sean Markham.
Yeah, Markham taking his lumps. He picked up another loss in yesterday's ball game. It's always kind of gratifying when you have a guy that moved on to a different team and you're able to beat him. Markham having his problems this year.
A 1-10 record. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Lucroy takes a first pitch strike.
Markham 5 earned runs, 6 overall in 5 innings of work. And Yvonne Garrett picked up win number 7 last night.
One and one the count to Lucroy. 43 RBIs as a catcher this season, leads the majors from that position. He's done a nice job after a slow start out of the gates. Batting .324 over his last 38 games. And it raised his overall batting average 60 points to .268. Tommy fouls one away.
As you mentioned, that slow start, he was down in low 200s for a while. And the RBI numbers and home run numbers are very good for Lucroy. Tied for 3rd on the team, our Powerball home run leaderboard. 13 home runs for Gomez, 11 for Segura, the 2 All-Stars.
And of course, you'd expect to see Ryan Braun on that list, but he continues on the DL right now, and his reign of All-Star appearances ends at 5 straight. Fly ball to right field, and it is caught out there by Bird. So Gomez back to first. One down here in the Brewer half of the fourth. That'll bring up Juan Francisco, who had an error that allowed the Mets run in that top half of the fourth. And you know, one swing of the bat and he's more than capable of making up for that.
And Francisco's been swinging the bat well. He's got that batting average up. 241. Now you can handle 241 in the batting average when you get the power numbers to go with it.
He's getting his home run swing going for Milwaukee. Homered earlier in this series. Six home runs wearing a Brewer uniform. First pitch and a strike to Francisco.
Yeah, 6 home runs in 26 games with the Brewers. Actually, 6 of his 20 hits are home runs.
Big reason why Doug Melvin went out to sign him. Only 25 years old and still a big question mark where his future in baseball is. Is he going to be a third baseman? Is he going to be a power hitter? Can he get his average up? Can he improve defensively?
All things that he was not able to do with his first 2 clubs. The Reds and the Mets. But again, young. I mean, a lot of upside.
And you get the feeling that he's got the raw talent that a guy like Carlos Gomez had. A couple of teams maybe give up on you, and you can land on your feet with a club that gives you a chance. That's the big question mark right now. At 25 years old, is this the club? You got to make a commitment, though, as a player and an organization. Here's the 0-2. And it misses, and Gomez easily steals second base.
Yeah, picked the right pitch, a curveball from Hefner.
20th stolen base for Gomez on the season.
Big lead, great jump, no chance for Anthony Recker, even if that ball wasn't in the dirt. Looks in, knows that there's no throw, and able to stand up.
And his 150th career stolen base. So starting to hit some nice milestones. Third time in Gomez's career he has hit 20 or more in a season. And again, Francisco fighting off the pitches from Jeremy Hefner. Out remains a ball and 2 strikes. Gomez had a 20 stolen base season with the Twins, and of course one with the Brewers as well. So this is second. And this time he gets Francisco to strike out. Big strikeout with the runner out in scoring position for Hefner.
That breaking ball has been a good pitch for him today. Been keeping it down in the strike zone. That's more the slider than the curveball, and that's exactly why you want it. That back foot slider, right-hander to the back foot to the left-handed hitter, and more times than not, they're going to swing over the top of it.
Two down. Gomez still out at second base for Ricky Weeks. He was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance back in the second inning. Pitch in for a strike. Second time in this game the Brewers have had a runner out at second base with 2 down. Not a lot of scoring opportunities early against Hefner. And a half swing by Weeks. And he's quickly down 2 strikes.
2 good breaking pitches he's got working. Slider, curveball. Brewers haven't seen him other than Ricky.
Week's only previous hit against Hefner was the home run. I'll let Gomez know that he's aware that he's out at second base. Gomez known to swipe third if it's wide open, even though there's 2 outs.
You better make sure you make it if you steal third base with 2 outs.
One and 2 now to Weeks. Hefner takes a long look at his catcher Anthony Recker. Outside again. Weeks not chasing. 2-2. Ricky's picked up the offense over his last 33 games at .314 entering today's game. This one shot down the right field line. Fair foul. That's a foul ball. Not much room down there in foul territory.
Well, you get one down in the corner. We can't see that corner in right and left, and all you have to do is watch the hitter. If he's not running full out, pretty good chance it's going to be slicing foul. And Ricky really never got the full speed.
Brewers trail in this game 1-0. Mets got a run on an error in the top half of this inning. And this time Weeks strikes out. So Hefner picks up his 7th strikeout, matching Gorzolani so far in this game. Tom Gorzolani in a spot start out of the bullpen has looked very sharp against the Mets. An unearned run in this game against Gorzolani, but 7 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. I mean, just continues to pour in the strikes. And for a guy that's going to be watched very closely as far as his pitch count goes, many strikes as he's been able to pour in there so far. He's in pretty good shape. 4 innings, 1 unearned run, and 7 punch outs. 10 balls, 40 strikes for Gorzolani and 50 pitches so far as we head to the 5th.
And the good news on that stat line, no walks. So maybe you can afford a few more strikeouts if you're not putting extra men on the base, and that has not happened in the game so far for Gorzelani. So we go to the Met half of the fifth. Quintanilla, one of these strikeout victims, will lead things off. Gorzelani, for most of his career, was a starter for the Pirates until moving over to the Nationals. Started for the first half of the 2011 season. They moved him to the bullpen, and then he made one start since then for the Nats, and then came over to Milwaukee, signed the 2-year contract. Good effort out there for Schaefer, riding the little used tarp here at Miller Park.
Yeah, grounds crew loves that. Guys with the cleats jumping all over the tarp. What good is a leaky tarp?
I think the ground crew is hoping that tarp's just no good here, period.
I'll tell you
they'll never have to use it.
I think that thing's thick. I don't think those cleats are going to make much of a dent in that tarp.
Ground ball to Ricky Weeks, and one down. Here's a look at that tarp. You got to have one here just in case the roof doesn't close, and I'm sure there's a few footprints of cleats on there.
It's like jamming an ice pick into your tarp. That's always good. Nice advertising for the folks at Time Warner.
As long as you have it, you might as well sell it, right?
That's right, baby. It's all about that, right?
There's Hefner, the Mets starting pitcher. Gorzelani delivers a strike. Hefner's from Perkins, Oklahoma, and as soon as that big tornado went through Moore, Oklahoma, a local restaurant in New York got together with Hefner, and throughout the entire month of June, all their hamburger sales of a particular hamburger on the menu, all proceeds went to the victims in Oklahoma, which was a nice gesture, and a lot of athletes have participated in the natural disasters that have gone on. And a strikeout. Let's send it down to Sophia Minnaert.
Craig, Brewers fans can fire up the grills because the Travel Channel and host Adam Richman will be at Miller Park July 19th through 21st, looking for unique tailgate setups, one-of-a-kind traditions, and recipes to feature on the show Fandemonium. Visit brewers.com/Fandemonium for details. So can't wait to see what Brewers fans come up with. You know, that tailgating scene is always great out there.
Well, it's good. You had the hamburgers and the brats and the hot dogs, and I know they're looking for more than that. I can do that.
Yeah.
But fans come to Miller Park and do much more than just the brats and burgers.
I mean, anybody can burn them, Craig. I mean, we're talking about cooking them to make them appetizing.
Thanks, Rock.
Are you a good griller?
I'm pretty good, actually.
You're not bad.
Yeah. Not good in the kitchen, but not bad on the grill.
That's a guy thing.
Yeah, I guess. We'll take it.
Guys are real good with open fire.
Did the ribs for a couple hours on the grill for the 4th of July. Worked out pretty good.
Is that right?
Had no complaints.
Good.
While we watch morning baseball.
That's good, because I was in the press room in D.C. eating. There was no 4th of July barbecue in the Schroeder house.
Eric Young slaps one foul. Count remains 2-2. A 1-0 Mets lead here in the top of the 5th inning at Miller Park. And this is a 2-out single for Young. So runner aboard against Gorzelani extends the 5th inning for the Mets.
Man, this is a guy that will run. David Wright, Eric Young Jr. Both guys will steal bases. Young with 12 stolen bases in 17 attempts. And a definite running situation with a man at first and 2 outs.
And a quick toss, trying to catch Young off balance. Making it close over there to Halton. And another throw. Gorzelani's only other start this season for the Brewers came on June 8th. He went 4 innings in that game, gave up just a run. We're in the 5th here against the Mets. And really the only question mark before the game is how long he could go, but that's kind of come up to him.
And the way he's going right now, he's at 65 pitches. The issue, though, he's coming up 3rd in the bottom of this inning, and I'm ready. He might want to go to a pinch hitter.
There goes Young. Throw from Lucroy is late. Second stolen base by the Mets in this ball game. Segura and Young collide at the base.
Had a pretty good lead, decent jump, a high throw from Lucroy, and he's in there in scoring position. And both of them end up in a pile out there at second base. Look out.
13 stolen bases now for Young. He's in scoring position with 2 down here in the Mets half of the 5th. The 0-2 on the way, popped up center field. Gomez, and that'll end any Mets threat. They still lead it as we go to the Brewer half of the 5th. It's 1-0. Henry Aaron statue outside Miller Park here in Milwaukee. It's the Mets and the Brewers. It's 1-0 New York as we go to the bottom half of the 5th, and Hank Aaron bobblehead giveaway day here. It's a pretty good likeness to Hank Aaron, if you will, wearing the Milwaukee Braves hat. The Braves jersey hasn't changed, at least from this modern day era, compared to when they wore it back in Milwaukee back in the 50s and early 60s.
Yeah, he could rake. He's something else, Hank Aaron. Front foot hitter. Always kept the hands back, though. Yeah, some of the great hitters back in those days did that. Roberto Clemente.
Hank Aaron, of course, a lot of people's favorite as the true home run king with 755 home runs.
Yeah.
There's his number 44 retired here. Sean Helton batting for Milwaukee. And Hank Aaron, of course, we mentioned Dave May's name as the Brewers all-star center fielder in 1973, and Carlos Gomez the first Brewer all-star center fielder since then. May was traded to the Braves, and a line out to right over at third base for the first out.
Well, he can't buy. He hits a line drive, and it seems like it's right at somebody. Did that a couple of times in Washington. And he hits a bullet, but right at David Wright at third base. Doesn't even have to move, just throws a glove up, and another hang with him for Sean Halton.
That was Dave May back in the end of the '74 season that went from the Brewers to the Braves to acquire Henry Aaron so he could finish his career in Milwaukee. Logan Schaefer with one down here in the fifth. He struck out back in the second inning.
Don't get to see much of the Hammer around Milwaukee too much. I think the last time we saw him was for the Selig statue dedication. Actually, Euchre. The Euchre statue dedication.
That was a year ago. A year ago in August. Ground ball to second. And two down. Well, Henry Aaron, a 25-time All-Star as a Brave, and here's a look at the NL All-Star selections to start according to the fans, and the big one to look at is Troy Tulowitzki, the shortstop, who's injured right now, and Gene Segura won the players vote. And speaking of shortstops in the Brewers, J.J. Hardy will get the start at short as a member of the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles with 3 starters in the All-Star game.
The Cardinals with a bunch of guys represented.
Tigers have the most players with 6 in all. But if Gene Segura gets the start, he would become the first Brewer to start at shortstop at an All-Star game since Robin Yount did it in '82 and '83. Somehow this all comes back to Robin Yount somehow.
It does,
doesn't it? Whether it's center field or shortstop.
When you're talking about Brewers baseball, the kid, yep. I was surprised that we were looking at it. He never made an All-Star team as a center fielder.
Right back at you.
As you duck your head, I did.
Just have to, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, either that or you don't have any reflexes.
There's Jesse, our camera operator. He's a fixture back there, Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse ducked his head after the ball hit him. Is there an inch of this ballpark that Jesse hasn't covered with that camera?
Pretty sure Jesse helps us out on our pregame set, pre and post out there in right field, behind home plate.
The instructionals.
He's been with Bernie up in his dugout. Fly ball shallow right field. Murphy takes care of the final out. A quiet fit for Milwaukee.
to the 6th, the Brewers trail 1-0. And now in our Marshfield Clinic, shining stars of the future. The Brewers will be well represented in the minor league all-star games. For Nashville, right-handed pitcher Rob Wooten. And for the Huntsville Stars, Taylor Youngman, Kentrell Davis, Jason Rogers, and Jimmy Nelson will all make appearances. In Single A for Brevard County, Brooks Hall, Seth Harvey, David Goforth, Cameron Garfield, and Nick Ramirez. Also in Single A for the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, they will send pitcher Austin Glasky, Ryan Gibbard, and pitcher Damian Magnifico. So congratulations to all of the minor leaguers who will be also heading to the All-Star games.
All right, Sophia, great to keep track of what's going on in the Brewers minor league system, and they've been active on the big league level as well this year. Out of Nashville, as Tom Gorzolani is set to take the hill again to start the 6th inning. He is cruising here this afternoon. Unfortunately, an unearned run has been the difference in this game. It's 1-0 Mets as we go to the top half of the 6th inning. But Gorzolani can't ask anything more than what he's been able to bring to the table. 8 strikeouts, no walks.
2 outs, nobody on. 9th spot came up in the bottom of the 5th inning, and Ron Renneke allowing Gorzolani to get in that bat and continue here. You would think if there had been a couple of men on, Gorzolani would have been pinch hit for it. And Brewers bullpen ate up 4 innings in yesterday's ball game. Gallardo went 6. That Brewers bullpen is anxiously anticipating the All-Star break.
Well, with Gorzolani being out there for much of the season, is right grounds to Segura. Let's take a look at the 4th inning. And this is where the Mets ended up scoring here. A 2-out ruled double and a very close play is Gomez, and the tag by Weeks was not ruled a tag, and then it's Francisco on an error.
That's one of those where you haven't been playing a lot of third base, although his natural position is third. You just hold on to it and hope that Gorzolani gets the final out.
Bird, bare hand Francisco again, and he throws it away. Weeks on the recovery to second base, and he throws it away. Boy. Bird stops at second base, and after all that, the Brewers have to feel fortunate he's not any further. Well, right after we showed that replay of Francisco on the barehanded throw that allowed the run to score in the 4th inning, almost a carbon copy play in live action.
Well, and then Ricky Weeks was could have bailed him out. I mean, very similar, identical play, identical result. Ricky Weeks right there doing a great job backing up. He had time to set himself, turn around and throw, and he threw a wild one into left field. Well, a comedy of errors for the Brewers. Second error for Francisco. Ricky Weeks had all kinds of time to make a throw to second base. Marlon Byrd not that fast anymore. He used to be able to run, but Ricky, if he sets himself, it's an easy out at second base.
Well, runner at second, 1 down for Josh Satin, the Mets first baseman.
Maybe a hit and an error. Unfortunately for Weeks, the error is on him. Actually, no, on Francisco.
That's right. Satin shoots one to right. Aoki going back, leaps up, can't make the play. It's off the wall. Bird being waved around. He will score. And a double for Satin. And he has gotten the best of Gorzolani. That's his 3rd hit in this game. And now the Mets lead it 2-0.
It's one of those days at the ballpark. I mean, Nori Aoki has time to go back. He doesn't have to jump when he did. He could have kept going back, made the catch. He had plenty of room between himself and the wall. I mean, he had a good 4 or 5 feet. Marlon Byrd falls down going around third base. There he goes, but still able to score. And the Brewers' problems defensively continue. Well, if Oki keeps going, he's able to make that catch.
Here's Andrew Brown, the left fielder. And again, a runner in scoring position. And there's activity out in that Brewer bullpen now. Brown with a base hit in this game. Brandon Kinsler getting warmed up out there in the Brewer bullpen. .75 pitches now for Gorzolani. And he can take very little blame for what has happened scoring wise in this game.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. 76 pitches, 60 of them for strikes, and he finds himself down 2-0.
Toughest play he had no control over was that ruled double back in the 4th inning. But that was an umpire's ruling. Little chopper Francisco looks the runner back, throws, and there are 2 down. And a sarcastic roar of approval from the fans here at Miller Park.
Man, nobody feels worse about those throws than Francisco, but you know, he hasn't really made a lot of those plays as a member of the Brewers. A couple of crow hops to make sure and got off a good throw to first base.
So Satin sits out at second base right now with 2 down for Anthony Recker, the catcher. Recker has struck out twice against Gorzolani. Making a spot start here, his 2nd of the season. And he's pitched extremely well.
It's kind of been the situation for Gorzolani. He got a loss in Washington, you know, in that ball game on 4th of July. I mean, he allowed 1 base runner. He got taken out after he had 2 outs and nobody on. A bleeder through the infield, and then Kinsler came in and gave up a 3-run homer, and he ended up getting the loss. Sometimes it's just not fair, but nobody said it was going to be.
No, that's for sure. That's why you play him every day. It's the beauty of this game.
It's, you know, one of those things.
So strike into Recker, 1-2.
In that same game, Storen came in for the Nationals, gave up 3 runs, blew a 3-run lead, ended up getting the win.
Seems fair.
Yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah. Only fair if you win it. 2-2 now to Recker. Gorzolani settling in nicely as a member of the Milwaukee Brewers from the Chicago area originally, and now makes his home in Iowa, so he loves the Midwest. Here's the 2-2. Outside, 3-2.
This is about the limit of his pitch count right now. You know, Ron Rennick would love to see him get through this inning, especially after having him hit in the bottom of the 5th. He allowed him to hit to get through the 6th.
Little chopper. Halton backhands. Flips to Gorzolani for the final out. Nicely done by Tom Gorzolani in this game. Likely to be done through 6. He trails 2-0. sausage relay race here on this Sunday afternoon at Miller Park. Everything always even is the sausage is all kind of tight in the pack, waiting for the relay handoff to the little sausages, and there they go. And the Polish looks like it's going to take advantage of the lead, even though Chorizo putting on the pressure at the end.
That's great play-by-play of the Clement sausage race. Well done.
I don't get to do that often.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
something
that.
else. You could do anything.
I'll put that on the resume. Well, Hefner has put together quite an afternoon in his own right, as well as Tom Gorzolani has pitched. Hefner has pitched equally well, maybe even better, allowing only one hit in this game. He hit a batter and has allowed one walk, so that's all the opportunities the Brewers have had. It's been far and few between. They've had a runner at second base only twice in this game so far. Top of the order now, Inori Aoki to lead things off for the Brewers. They trail 2-0. A rare strikeout and a ground out for Aoki so far in this game. Another great crowd here at Miller Park on Hank Aaron bobblehead giveaway day. Aoki right to first for the first out.
The Brewers really haven't been able to square up Hefner all day. I mean, a little bit here, take a little bit off, add a little bit. Sinker, slider, curveball. He's been mixing in a changeup and picking up right where he left off. His last 6 starts, you talked about it, a 170 earned run average. And he has walked a batter. He walked Gomez back in the 4th, but that's it. Only one hit. A hit batter, and a walk, and that's all the Brewers have been able to muster.
Michael Gonzalez gets loose in the Brewer bullpen. Segura, first pitch. Rounds out to second base. 2 down quickly for Hefner.
It could be very interesting here at Miller Park had Holt not gotten that infield hit. I mean, if Quintanilla makes a better throw, make it close, we could be sitting on a no-hitter.
And the Brewers have not been able to square up very well at all in this game, with very little success.
No. Hardest hit ball was a Sean Holton line drive right at David Wright.
See what Carlos Gomez can do with 2 down. He walked back in the 4th, and a big hack on that first pitch. Gomez heading to his first All-Star game. And Sophia brought up a good point earlier in her report on Gomez going to the All-Star game. Began his career with the Mets, and his parents were not able to gain their visas in time to come to see him make his major league debut, but his whole family will be there for his first All-Star game in the same city in which he began his major league career. Always a huge thrill to have the family involved.
Yeah. Take part in all the activities, and you see those the home run hitting contest, all the kids on the field running around having a good time with Dad, and I'm sure that the little Gomez's will be out there.
His son was running around the clubhouse with him before the game. Went to every interview with Dad.
Can he run too?
Oh boy,
he's pretty quick.
Should see him go. And the first thing he likes to do is get that uniform dirty when he's out on the infield. Gomez strikes out this time. Hefner looking tough through 6. The Wisconsin Lottery reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Hank Aaron statue outside of Miller Park. It's his bobblehead giveaway today. More than 39,000 fans on hand here on a spectacular Sunday afternoon. Beautiful summer. Warm weather's finally arrived. A little humidity too. But the roof is open. We've had a good day for baseball. We just have to get the Brewers cranked up here. Michael Gonzalez will come in relief of Tom Gorzolani here to start the 7th inning for the Mets.
Well, the Brewers bullpen at it once again. What a job by Gorzolani today, giving Ron Renneke 6 solid innings, and unfortunately finds himself down 2-0. But Michael Gonzalez, 45th appearance. He has worked a lot. Last pitched, well, he pitched last night, retired the only batter that he faced. Stranded 2 inherited base runners. That was in the 8th inning.
They'll face Quintanilla to lead off the 7th inning. And a first pitch swing for Quintanilla, and Ricky Weeks out in shallow right field for the first out. Miller Park here in Milwaukee. It is 2-0. The Mets lead the Brewers, an unearned run against Gorzolani, who pitched spectacular, as Rock mentioned. 6 very good innings. No walks allowed, 8 strikeouts. 83 pitches, 64 for strikes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do much better than that. I mean, coming out of the bullpen, and I think you're right. I think you hit it on the head about midway through his start. I mean, I'd be surprised to see him back in the bullpen. He's been very effective in that starting role in his 2 starts. And the Brewers would love to have a left-handed starter. They have not had a lefty make a start other than Gorzolani. He made a start early part of June against the Phillies.
Gorzolani made his 113th career start today. He's obviously been a starter for most of his career, and gives Michael Gonzalez, who's on the mound now, a lot of credit for kind of turning his career into a reliever when they were in Washington together as teammates for 2 years. But he knows that he is versatile and open to doing whatever the club needs.
Yeah, make no mistake, he'd love to be a starter again. I mean, most guys that have started and have gone back and forth will tell you that, ultimately they'd rather start. They feel more comfortable in that role. Gorzolani, certainly one of those guys, but he will work out of the bullpen if need be.
And Gonzalez walks the pitcher, Hefner. It's one of the few things Gonzalez has had trouble with this season. Getting the first out or 2 and then an uncharacteristic walk. You don't want to walk the pitcher, obviously, but now Ron Renneke coming out with Dan Wright, the Brewer trainer. Take a look at Gonzalez. Don't know if there's something anybody picked up on or not, but this is the last thing the Brewers need right now, is anything wrong with a starting pitcher or a relief pitcher. Here's the last pitch.
I think it might have happened if there is anything before that. I mean, because you wouldn't walk the pitcher under normal circumstances. Just looks very uncomfortable. But I would imagine if there is anything, and it's a good sign to see Renneke and Dan Wright going back to the dugout without him. He's still on the mound, but it might have happened before that, a couple of pitches before that.
We have time now to look at our Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin text. The broadcast question: what can a major league team do to improve its overall defense? CC from Rice Lake wants to know.
I'm not sure, CC. Yeah, you make errors, and it seems as though the Brewers make them in bunches. I mean, they'll go through stretches where they're having a difficult time with their defense, and then they'll go through stretches where they play good, solid defense. But yeah, they work hard at it during batting practice. They take ground balls. They make their throws before the game. And as far as coaches go, there's nothing more they can do. It's up to the player. can't pin errors, physical errors, on coaches or organizations.
Young just fouled. Well, the Brewers struggled defensively on Friday night and lost big 12-5, and then Saturday played an errorless free game and won. Now today, the defense not nearly as sharp in a low-scoring game, but you find yourself down on the scoreboard like this, and you can't help but see Ron Renicky continue to scratch his head on how you gain any kind of consistency. Young to Gomez for the second out here in the seventh.
It's the same players that make good plays are the same players that make the bad plays. So I mean, it's one of those things where you go through stretches. I mean, there are hitting slumps and there are defensive slumps. You know, in the case of Juan Francisco, although he is by trade he's a third baseman, but most of his work has been at first base. He hasn't had to make that play for the Brewers. That slow roller coming in, bare hand pickup, and throws off the mark. You know, throughout his career, the errors that Francisco make or have made, and a lot of them are throwing errors. Which is why the Brewers are, like him over at first base.
Daniel Murphy, a ball and a strike. He's got the pitcher Jeremy Hefner over at first base right now. 2 down here in the 7th inning. Weeks can handle it. It falls into right field. Hefner is going to make his way over to third base. So runners at the corners now with 2 down for the Mets.
Yeah, there's a play right there. I mean, you talk about defense. I mean, that's a play that Ricky needs to make. Not hit that far from him. It eats him up into right field. It's going to be a hit, but a play that should have been made.
And that's going to be it for Michael Gonzalez as the inning continues. Ron Renicky is going to come out to make a pitching change. So Gonzalez out and Kinsler coming in.
New York for the All-Star game, and fans can weigh in on who will snag the final spot. So today on our AT&T Twitter poll, that was the question: who will win the National League final vote? And the rookie Yasiel Puig ran away with the fan vote here in Milwaukee with 83% of the vote. And we asked Ron Renicky to weigh in this morning, and he said, look, he has put up unbelievable numbers, but 31 games, he didn't think that was enough to warrant an all-star selection, but said there's no doubt he has a very bright future and has really put a lot of energy into the Dodgers franchise this season, Craig.
That's right, 31 games, and Puig with a .407 batting average, 8 home runs and 19 RBIs. But the key is 31 games. Yes, a great start, but 31 games.
I agree, and I thought that the same would apply last year to Bryce Harper. I mean, he came up, he played a bunch of games. There wasn't that many games, and ended up being on the All-Star team. And yeah, but he's a popular choice. I mean, Puig is the guy that's getting all the headlines. You see him on the the highlight shows each and every night. Really off to a great start. But those other guys have been playing all season, and they deserve the opportunity to get to the game.
Well, here's Kinsler in now. 2 on, 2 out in the 7th inning. And David Wright, the ever so dangerous Mets All-Star third baseman. He's hit the ball hard in this game. He has 2 hits. 307 on the season now, leads the team with 43 RBIs. He and Marlon Byrd tied for the team lead. Mets already up 2-0. The Brewers desperate to keep the score right where it is. Little infield chop. Francisco going to get another chance. The throw is in time. And the Brewers make the play and hold the score. And the deficit at 2 as we go now to the bottom half of the 7th inning. And time now for our Sunday tradition, God Bless America, here at Miller Park.
As we honor our great nation with the singing of God Bless America, led this afternoon by Bob Kozlowski from the Brewers Guest Relations Department.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
By Marshfield Clinic is Juan Francisco after a tough day in the hot corner. He makes a nice play to retire the side in the 7th inning and leave 2 on. As the Brewers come to bat here now in the bottom of the 7th inning, we're going to see Juan Francisco, who's on deck. Jonathan Lucroy to lead things off. 7th inning stretch. Let's see if the Brewers can spark anything against Jeremy Hefner, who's been outstanding, allowing only an infield hit so far in the game.
Yeah, sitting at 92 pitches. He's in pretty good shape. 93 pitches now and 62 of them for strikes. So he and Gorzolani, both starters, pouring in the strikes today.
Hefner's won 2 of his last 3 starts, and since June 4th, again, the second best ERA in baseball at 1.70 entering this game. Started out very slow on the season. The team only won 1 of his first 11 starts, but this is why you play a full year, and he has hit a stride here starting in the month of June, and it's extended to July, and Lucroy to left field, hit well, and gone for Jonathan Lucroy. That gets everybody on their feet, and Bernie down the slide, and the Brewer deficit down to 1 with a leadoff home run.
Now they come in bunches for a lot of power hitters, and Jonathan Lucroy puts a charge into 1. Back-to-back games with home runs for Luke. Well, maybe that'll get something going in that Brewers dugout. Fastball from Hefner. Middle in, and Lucroy able to get the bat head out on and ride it out of here out to left center. And skunk out of the box here today. Brewers on the board.
They've had a tough time connecting on anything against Hefner until Lucroy. And now Francisco, who's got an opportunity perhaps to tie things up. Very capable of hitting a home run. He's slammed 6 home runs since putting on a Brewer uniform. Don't forget, the deeper we go into this ball game now, Hefner was walked by Gonzalez, so he was out on the bases during a pitching change as well. This one line right to the second baseman, Murphy. Ball hit well, but right into an out.
Second time the Brewers have hit an atom ball. You know, Holton hit one to third, and now Francisco to second. It's going to get some activity getting going down in that Mets bullpen. A left-hander and a right-hander getting loose. Pitch count approaching 100.
There's Torres, the righty, and Rice, the lefty, out there in the Mets bullpen. Ricky Weeks steps in with 1 down. Sean Holton, the Brewer lefty, on deck. 99 pitches now for Jeremy Hefner. Weeks chopper to third, right. Throws him out for out number 2 here in the Brewer half of the 7th. Well, the Brewers with the longest active streak, avoiding the shutout right now at 65, courtesy of Jonathan Lucroy, and that home run to make it a 2-1 ball game. Well, there's been some struggles offensively. The kind of the tempo that's been set hasn't been by home runs so much because of all the injuries. Well, Lucroy able to connect.
Yeah, the Brewers have only been shut out 3 times this year. That's tied for second in the National League, the fewest shutouts. The Diamondbacks have been shut out only once.
Another tough offense to shut down.
The Atlanta Braves have been shut out 11 times.
And the Brewers are able to do it twice.
Twice, right.
On their last homestand.
It's not often that a first place team gets shut out that often.
Holton had 2 balls and a strike. He had an infield hit back in the 2nd inning, and he lined out hard to right his last time up. Curveball in for a strike. 2-2. Fly ball right field. Bird settles in, and that retires the Brewers here in the 7th inning, but they get one on the Lucroy home run, down 2-1. His 10th home run of the season, his second in as many games against New York pitching. But that's all the offense the Brewers have been able to muster. And so Kinsler back out on the mound to start the 8th inning for Milwaukee. Take a look at our Toyota game summary right now. Hefner's pitched to Gem 7 strong innings and has allowed only that 1 run. And Gorzalani in a spot start out of the bullpen, 6 strong innings, no walks, 2 runs given up, none earned though, and 8 strikeouts, and Jonathan Lucroy's home run. So there you go. That's our 2-1 ball game as we start the 8th. Marlon Byrd to lead things off. Byrd homered in the 9th inning of yesterday's game. And this time lines a single into left in the 8th inning. He's a tough out to come by late in ball games for the Mets.
Yep, he's having a good run with these Mets. I think everybody thought that Marlon Byrd's career was going to be over. Had a rough stretch with the Cubs after being an all-star with Chicago. Had to deal with a suspension, performance-enhancing drugs, and now back with the Mets, putting together a nice season, 13 home runs.
Here's Josh Satin now. He has 3 hits in this game. Francisco to Weeks. The relay to Halton, and the Brewers turn to double play. They will take that in a tight ball game. Francisco's defense tightening up nicely as this one goes on.
That's the first time the Brewers have been able to get Satin out. Talk about a room service double play, and they get Satin easily at first base. Doesn't run all that well. 5-4-3.
After a couple of errors earlier in the ball game, now Francisco keeping it close over there at third base. Here's Andrew Brown with 2 down. Kinsler came in relief of Gonzalez in the 7th inning with 2 down and 2 on. And got the final out. And now opens up the 8th inning. Nice smooth double play. Helps the pitcher out. Mets have not enjoyed the season they were hoping for. Obviously, when things began just like Milwaukee, have endured a lot of the injuries. We've talked about that, but they sure have played well on the road. In their last 8 road series, they've won 5, lost only 1. And now a 2-out walk. Let's check in with Sophia Minner.
Well, Craig, if Brewers fans are coming to the game tomorrow, for Monday home games, fans may purchase terrace reserved seats for just $9. Courtesy of Miller High Life, visit brewers.com/highlife. And again, a good matchup tomorrow. Kyle Loesch versus Homer Bailey, fresh off of his no-hitter.
Well, that was something to see for Homer Bailey. Now 2 in the books for the Reds pitcher.
Allowed only a walk in that ball game, and Bailey's always had the good stuff. Just a matter of being able to put it together. Starting to do that.
Recker, first pitch to Weeks. And the Brewers get out of the 8th inning down 2-1.
The Mets still up by a run in the bottom of the 8th inning as the Brewers cut the lead in half in the 7th inning. Telly Hughes, Jerry Augustine getting you set for Brewers Live post-game following today's game. But, Augie, the storyline so far has to be Tom Gorzelani giving the Brewers a chance to compete in this game by 6 innings.
It's all about the guys coming out of bullpen. What else can you say? Tom Gorzelani today getting to start, giving them 6 innings, 2 unearned runs, and efficiency, 84 pitches, 63 strikes.
Yes, he was really pounding the strike zone. Jeremy Hefner only has given up 2 hits himself, so this has been a pretty good pitching battle here.
Yes, it has. He's been very efficient. They say he's been commanding that strike zone. We said that in the pregame. He has done just that, thrown the ball very well.
All right, we'll have more on today's starting pitchers coming up on Brewers Live. Also, our on-field instructional. Rock and Augie will take a look at how outfielders take a certain route to get to the ball to put themselves in position to actually get a good, strong throw back into the infield. So we'll have all that coming up on Brewers Live. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Milwaukee Brewers Baseball Club and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Milwaukee Brewers. Craig?
All right, Telly, thanks very much. Josh Edgin now in relief for the Mets, and he spots Jeremy Hefner, who threw 7 spectacular innings. And now Edgin making his 25th appearance. Trying to protect a 2-1 lead for New York, faces Logan Schaefer to lead off the 8th for the Brew Crew.
Yeah, 2 of the next 3 hitters left-handed for the Brewers. Schaefer, then the pitcher's spot, then you have Aoki. Edgin's second appearance in this series. He pitched on Friday night.
Jeff Bianchi currently on deck for Milwaukee. Ball high, 1-1 now to Schaefer. Here's Jeff Bianchi. Left-handed pitching edging out on the hill right now for the Mets. High fly ball, right field. Bird coming in and makes the catch. So one down here in the Brewer half of the 8th. And the roof now being closed here at Miller Park. Getting a little bit darker, maybe some rain in the area as John Axford gets loose in that Brewer bullpen. It's been a beautiful Sunday afternoon up until now, but some clouds have come in.
It's been a nice weekend here in Milwaukee. The rains have stayed away, and I guess we're due for some rain. It's been 2 days, right?
Exactly. Not a complete dry out, but a little more rain on the way. Now Yuniesky Betancourt is going to bat here in the 8th with one down.
And Ron Rennick elected to go with a little bit more power in Uni B. Yankee might have been up there to drop down a sac bunt had Schaefer been able to reach.
Betancourt at 205 now on the season after that spectacular start in the month of April. 9 home runs, 33 RBIs. Only 153 for Betancourt after the first 30 games of the season.
And looking to lay into one right here. Hit a home run in Washington.
Sharply to third, right, spins and makes the play look very easy.
How about that guy, huh? That's a tough play. That ball looked like it was behind him. They would have spin his body around, keep it in the glove, and they throw it right on the money. A Gold Glover. He can pick it and he can hit. Check it out. Tough hop. Handles it well. Good soft hands and a nice flip to first base. He makes that play look easy. That's a tough play. Tough hop.
Gold Glover back in 2007 and 2008 for David Wright. Here's Nori Aoki now with 2 down in the Brewer half of the 8th inning. Fouls one straight back. Aoki 0 for 3. He and several of his teammates were having good series until they faced Jeremy Hefner today. And Hefner going 7 strong innings and allowing just 2 hits, I should say. The second was a big one, a home run by Lucroy.
And the guy that was put on waivers from the San Diego Padres, Hefner, Mets picked him up, and boy, they find a diamond in the rough. He stuck with him. He got off to a slow start, but he was outstanding today for the 7th consecutive start.
As you mentioned, the Mets drafted him twice, didn't get him, and have had their eye on him for some time, and he's showing them why. Aoki lays off 1-2. Remember this back in the first to start the game. Aoki keeping the Mets in the dugout alive. Here's the second time. And they said, you know what, I think I've had enough.
That's good.
Aoki just tips his cap, saying, I'll try not to do it again, but I'm trying to do my job.
And
too.
Usually he does that against lefties, so a pretty good chance it might happen again.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Aoki lays off, draws it full.
Right-hander down in the bullpen for the Mets. You got Segura, Gomez, Lucroy coming up. This could be Edgin's last hitter.
Gene Segura waits on deck for All-Star. Here's the 3-2. Up the middle. on the throw. Aoki's going to beat it. Murphy got to it, but couldn't make the throw. Kind of a slow roller up the middle, and with Aoki's speed, he's able to beat it out.
Not only does he run well, but he gets a head start. He's almost running when he's making contact. He's on his way to first base. Check it out. Nori on his way quickly up the middle. Murphy not able to get enough on the throw to get him. So there's your tying run. Probably going to see a pitching change here. Here comes Terry Collins. He's going to the home plate umpire Bob Davidson. Double switch here at Miller Park.
Well, Nori Aoki now a 7-game hitting streak. And the Brewers put the tying run over at first base with 2 down. So Edgin is done. We'll talk about who's coming in when we come back here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
North Thursday nights on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Join hosts Bill Shirk and Laura Schera as they take a look at the stories and adventures of outdoor enthusiasts in the upper Midwest. Due North Outdoors Thursday at 6, only on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Craig?
All right, Sophia, thanks very much. The Brewers forcing the Mets to make a pitching change here in the 8th inning. Neuenhuis goes into center field, and Young moves over to left as part of the double switch. And then the pitcher coming in is going to be Bobby Parnell.
Yeah, bring their closer in here in the 8th inning with 2 outs. Parnell with 14 saves on the year and 17 opportunities. Has not allowed a home run.
And he's brought in to face the All-Star Gene Segura. Aoki on the run on the first pitch, and he swipes second base. Right away, he's in scoring position.
Mets really didn't seem to mind. I mean, big lead, Aoki taking off, Parnell slow to the plate, and man in scoring position. Just conceding the stolen base, it appeared.
Very interesting. Here's the 1-0 to Segura. Now 1-1. Gene Segura in his first big league season is now an All-Star. Big situation here. Brewers just down 2-1. They have Aoki out at second base. The roof fully closed here at Miller Park now. So the lighting becomes a little bit darker in here. It started out a beautiful afternoon. Let's see what Segura and the Brewers can do here. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Bobby Parnell first came to the Mets in 2009, and before this year had 14 big league saves. Has become the closer this year, and he's got 14 in the first half.
It's amazing each year the new storylines of closers that develop around the league. Parnell delivers the 2-2. Hit over to second base, and the final out for the Mets here in the Brewer half of the 8th inning. So the closer comes in a little bit early, but does the job. Jonathan Lucroy, the only Brewer run here in this game. Tomorrow the Reds come to town, and Homer Bailey, he'll face Kyle Lohse. That's our Miller Lite What's on Tap. It's game 1 of a 3-game series here at Miller Park between the Reds and the Brewers. Kyle Lohse trying to stay in a groove, and Homer Bailey, of course, just pitched a no-hitter earlier this week. John Axford in on the hill right now for the Brewers as we go to the Met half of the 9th inning. And Axford has been going through quite a stretch, but actually gave up a run in yesterday's game, which has been rare for him.
Yeah, snapped a streak of 23 consecutive games without allowing a run. He gave up a run in yesterday's game and got his earned run average under 4, back to 4.00 right now. He needs to put up a 0, and the Brewers pick up a couple of runs in the bottom of the 9th.
And as we rumble around the press box here the last couple of days at Miller Park, it's hard not to bump into scouts across baseball coming in to look at guys like Axford last night with Giovanni Gallardo out on the hill, wondering if there might be a deal before the July 31st trading deadline. Who knows at this point, but they are out in full force. There's no doubt about that. And there are some good Brewer pitchers at this point, especially out of the bullpen, to be looking at. And Axford, K-Rod, of course, one of them.
And Michael Gonzalez, and the teams that are looking to get to the postseason, looking for different pieces that they may need.
Quintanilla quickly down 2 strikes to John Axford. John Axford not closing for the Brewers these days, but certainly very capable of going back into that role with another club.
And Brewers have 3 guys that could be capable of closing games: Henderson, Axford, and K-Rod, who's done a nice job. Closed yesterday's game for the Brewers.
The Brewers just at 35 wins and 51 losses. 18 games off the pace set by the Pittsburgh Pirates, who continue to ride the best record in baseball right now. It's interesting when you see the innings pitched by Brewer relievers. They're second highest in the league, only to the Pirates. But the difference of where the teams are right now and how and when these relief pitchers are used and needed. So take a look at the standings in the Central. Pittsburgh pacing the Cardinals and the Reds right now. Called strike 3.
Yeah, that's the big difference for Axford. And that curveball throwing it for strikes. Here it is, the yellow hammer. It drops it in the strike zone, and Keith Ian knew it. Not much you can do about that. If he throws that for a strike with that big fastball, you don't have much of a chance.
Here's Neuenhuis, who came in on the double switch, so his first plate appearance of the ball game. First pitch misses high for ball 1. Neuenhuis started yesterday's game, was 1 for 5. Fly ball to left. And Schaefer's underneath it. 2 down for John Axford. Trying to keep the Mets at just 2 runs to give his team a chance. Final at bats on the way for Milwaukee in the bottom half of the 9th. Some good pitching from Jeremy Hefner. And some spotty defense by the Brewers early in this game have kind of been the story of this 2-1 ball game right now.
You know, defense usually is the difference in a close game. You know, low scoring, close game, and unfortunately the Brewers are a little shaky early on.
Here's the top of the order now in Eric Young. He had a base hit and a stolen base back in the 5th inning. And he slaps this one the other way, a base hit in the left field. So a 2-out runner for the Mets here in the 9th inning.
And another guy that's tough to strike out, Eric Young Jr. Fastball at 95 miles an hour, and Young just serves it into left field. Kind of reminds you of Aoki right there. Infield in, at least Francisco in on the grass, and just couldn't get there.
Axford will keep an eye on him. Young with 13 stolen bases on the season. And there he goes. This one hit up the middle. Segura backhands, sets himself, and the Brewers get out of the 9th inning. Final 3 outs. What do the Brewers have here coming up in the bottom of the 9th? starting to make some noise. The meaty part of the Brewer order due up Gomez, Lucroy, and Francisco. And they will face Parnell, the closer for the Mets, who had to come in and get the final out of the 8th inning.
Yeah, this is the spot of the order where you want. You want the middle of your order up. Parnell, a hard thrower. Let's see what the Brewers have here in the bottom of the 9th.
Wendy's at the plate for Carlos Gomez, the newly crowned All-Star. A strikeout. He walked and stole a base back in the 4th and then struck out again in the 6th inning. That was all against the starter, Jeremy Hefner. So maybe a new face, a new pitcher. 60-some feet away might do the trick for Gomez. Brewers trail by only a run. Gomez can get on. Of course, he's always a stolen base threat. Inside, but it's a nice swing. 0-2.
And 97 of that last fastball. Fastball slider for Parnell. He can bring it. He's got that good slider to keep you off the heater.
And Gomez holds his swing. 2-2. Jonathan Lucroy, who's responsible for the only run of the game, is on deck. He had a home run his last at bat. The 2-2. Gomez to short. And there's one down here in the 9th inning. So Jonathan Lucroy back in the 7th inning. The only one to touch the starting pitcher, Jeremy Hefner.
And the only mistake he made, left one up, out over the plate, and Lucroy cashed in. Only run of the game. Brewers with only 3 hits. 3 hits for the Brewers, a home run and 2 infield hits.
Lucroy now with 46 RBIs to lead the team. First pitch in, a strike. Brewers trying to battle back to win this series. They lost Friday night, won yesterday's game. Now are an out away from dropping the finale here. 2 down in the 9th. That brings up Juan Francisco, who has 2 errors in this game. The 2 runs given up by Brewer pitching, both unearned. So here's a chance for him to pull it all back even right now.
Yeah, that's the thing that hurts, that the Mets, should not have any runs on the board. It should be a 1-0 game. 2 unearned runs, and the Brewers down to their last out.
Francisco fouls that first pitch away, so he's down. A strike to start out this at bat against the Mets closer. Just missing inside, 1-1. Francisco 0 for 3, including a strikeout back in the 4th. Both starting pitchers really bringing it today, and Hefner and Gorzalani. Gorzalani spectacular out of that bullpen spot start, 6 strong innings. 8 hits allowed, but no earned runs. He had 8 strikeouts, didn't walk anybody. And you got to wonder if he has not earned a chance to start again. High to Francisco, 3-1.
Francisco needs to look for one down the middle, fastball, and try and tie this one up. Get a free hack here, 3-1.
Ricky Weeks waits on deck. Inside, Francisco draws the walk after falling behind early, and Ricky Weeks is going to get a shot.
Yeah, you might see Jeff Bianchi pinch run here. Yep, and here he comes. There's your tying run at first base. Bianchi with very good speed.
So Bianchi in for Francisco at first. Ricky Weeks at the plate.
Remember how easy it was for Aoki to steal a base off of Parnell. Let's see if Bianchi tries to do the same. Get into scoring position.
Parnell never even glanced at Aoki. We'll see what he does here. Pitch to Weeks outside, ball 1.
If nothing else, you might alter Parnell's delivery, try and be a little bit quicker. Maybe make a mistake.
Garth Orge, the Brewers' first base coach, talking with Bianchi. He holds. It's 2-0 to Weeks. Bianchi represents the tying run over there at first base, and Weeks the winning run. Now a meeting out on the mound. Dan Workin, the pitching coach, out for the Mets.
Well, no sense in Bianchi trying to steal a base while Parnell can't find home plate. No sense in taking that risk. Couldn't throw strikes to Francisco. Or I should say, first 2 pitches not even close to Ricky, both away. Make him throw a strike first.
Well, he's thrown 6 straight balls after opening with a strike against Francisco. 2-0 to Weeks. Chopped up the middle. And the play made to retire Ricky Weeks and the Brewers. So they put the tying run on board, but come up short in this one. 2 unearned runs beats the Brewers here this afternoon. 2-1 is the final score, and the New York Mets take this weekend series here at Miller Park. For more on the postgame show on Brewers Live, let's send it out to Telly Hughes.
All right, thanks so much, Craig. Tough one here for the Brewers today, just as tough as the Mets pitchers were against the Brewers hitters, as the Mets take 2 out of 3 from the Brewers. We'll have our on-field instructional. We're here from Ron Renicky, and we'll preview the Brewers and Reds series coming up next on Brewers Live.